I never thought I'd doubt her. Lila, with her laugh that could light up any room, her gentle smile that made the world feel safe. She had me completely. Yet, lately, something had shifted. "Hey, you've been quiet all week," Marcus said, tossing me a beer as we sat on my balcony. The city lights flickered below us. "What's going on?" "I don't know," I admitted, staring at the glowing skyline. "I can't shake this feeling. Like something's off." Marcus frowned. "Off? How?" "You two seemed perfect." "I thought so too," I muttered. "But the other night, she got a message while I was in the kitchen. She jumped, like she didn't want me to see it." Marcus leaned back, arms crossed. "That's suspicious, man. Don't ignore it." "I'm not." "I don't want to believe it," I said, running a hand through my hair. "Maybe I'm overthinking." "You've known her for 4 years," Marcus said. "Your gut doesn't lie. Listen to it." I laughed, but it was hollow. "I love her, Marcus." "I thought love could fix anything." "Love isn't blind, Nathan," he said firmly. "It doesn't make you blind. You have to see clearly, even if it hurts." Later that night, I sat on my bed, my phone in hand. Lila had left hers charging on the nightstand. I hesitated, heart pounding, every instinct screaming at me to step back. But curiosity, fear, betrayal. I opened her messages. A single notification caught my eye. A message from someone named Daniel. I read it slowly. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Miss you." My stomach dropped. I couldn't breathe. "Miss me tonight." I heard the door click. Lila stepped in, hair damp from the rain, smile on her face. "Nathan, what are you doing?" I swallowed, my voice barely steady. I saw your message." Her smile faltered. "Message." She tried to laugh it off. "That. It's nothing, really. Just a friend? A friend?" I repeated, my voice rising. "Friends don't send messages like that at midnight." "It wasn't serious," she said, avoiding my gaze. "Not serious?" I felt my chest tighten. "You're telling me to ignore this? After everything?" "I didn't mean to hurt you," she whispered. "I swear it didn't mean anything." "I don't know if I can trust you," I said, voice breaking. "I don't know if I ever can right now." Her eyes filled with tears. "Nathan, please. You have to believe me." "I love you, love," I said bitterly, shaking my head. I thought love was enough. The apartment fell silent, except for the rain tapping against the window. I felt my world shift, the illusion of perfection cracking. I had loved her with everything, and yet doubt gnawed at my mind. Twisting every memory, Marcus's words echoed, "Your gut doesn't lie." I wanted to run to her, to forgive, to hold her, but I couldn't, not yet. My mind raced through every smile, every touch, every late-night call. She never explained. Could I ignore it? Could I pretend it didn't exist? "I need some time," I whispered. Lila's shoulder slumped. She nodded, lips trembling. "I'll wait," she said softly. "I'll wait as long as it takes." I turned away, staring out the window. The city felt colder tonight, the lights distant, fragile. Trust had been broken, and I didn't know if it could ever be rebuilt. All I knew was that my life had changed in a single message, and nothing would ever feel the same again. Asterisk the next morning. I tried to act normal, but every glance at Lila made my chest tighten. She was humming in the kitchen, making coffee, completely unaware, pretending to be. "Morning," she said, sliding a mug toward me. "Sleep well?" "Yeah," I muttered, not meeting her eyes. "You, fine," she said, smiling faintly. "Everything okay?" I froze. "Everything okay?" I wanted to ask if she had been texting Daniel again, if this was part of some bigger betrayal. But the words stuck in my throat. Later, I met Marcus at our usual cafe. He didn't even ask how I was, he just looked at me, his expression sharp. "You look haunted," he said. "I feel haunted," I admitted. "I can't stop thinking about that message." "You saw it," he said, shaking his head. And I don't know what to think," I said, running a hand through my hair. "She swears it's nothing. She says she loves me. But how can I be sure? Marcus leaned forward. Nathan, you can't live like this. You either confront it fully or let it eat you alive. There's no middle ground. I know, I said. But confrontation. It could destroy everything. Maybe she really didn't mean anything, Marcus said slowly. Or maybe you're just fooling yourself. You've got to trust your instincts. The words stung because he was right. Deep down, I didn't trust her. And it wasn't just Daniel. There were other little things. Her phone always face down, whispers when I walked into a room, vague excuses about late nights at work. That evening, I tried to focus on work, but my phone buzzed. Lila's name flashed on the screen. I swallowed hard before answering. Hey, I said, voice tight. Hey, she replied softly. I noticed you were distant today. Are we okay? I don't know, I admitted. I saw that message, Lila. I can't stop thinking about it. Her voice cracked. Nathan, it wasn't real. I swear, he's just a friend. Please believe me. I want to, I said, voice trembling. I really do. But how can I trust you after this? Trust me, she pleaded. I've made a mistake. I'm not proud, but it didn't mean anything. You're the only one I love. Words are easy, I said bitterly. Actions. They tell a different story. I'll prove it, she whispered. I'll do whatever it takes to make it right. I don't know if I can wait for that, I muttered, looking away. My heart ached, torn between the love I felt and the fear of betrayal repeating itself. Later, I called Marcus again. I talked to her, I said, and she says it didn't mean anything, that she loves me, but I can't stop thinking about what could happen next. What if it's not over? Then you make the rules, Marcus said firmly. You decide what's acceptable. You decide what you'll tolerate. Not her, not Daniel, not anyone. You. I sighed, the weight of his words settling in. He was right, of course. I couldn't let doubt control me forever, but I also couldn't ignore it. Back at the apartment, Lila was waiting, hopeful, nervous. She reached out to touch my hand. Nathan, she said softly, please, don't shut me out. I hesitated, heart racing. I need time, she nodded, biting her lip. I'll wait. I'll prove myself. I walked to the balcony, staring at the city lights, feeling the distance between us grow. The whispers of doubt were loud and trust seemed fragile, like a thread ready to snap. I loved her, yes. But love alone couldn't erase what I'd seen, what I'd feared, and for the first time, I realized maybe perfection had never existed. It's not for us. And maybe, just maybe, I was about to learn what forgiveness and heartbreak truly meant. I never imagined I'd find proof. Not like this. Not with my own eyes. It was late when I came home from work. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. Leela's phone buzzed on the counter, notifications spilling across the screen. My heart sank as I saw a message from Daniel. Can't stop thinking about last night. You were amazing. I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. I barely heard the front door click. Lila appeared, dripping wet from the rain, hair clinging to her face. Nathan, you're home late, she said, smiling nervously. I held up her phone. Care to explain this? Her smile faltered. What? That? It's nothing, just a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? I repeated, voice rising. Friends don't send messages like that at 2 a.m. What's happening, Lila? She stepped back, hands raised defensively. Nathan, please. Don't jump to conclusions. I can explain. I want the truth, I said, stepping closer, heart hammering. I saw everything. This isn't a mistake. It didn't mean anything, she said, voice trembling. I was lonely, okay? I made a stupid mistake, but I love you. Love me? I laughed bitterly, feeling tears sting my eyes. You think love can fix this? Do you even understand what you've done? I do, she shouted. I was scared. I didn't think. But I promise you, it's over with him. Promises? I scoffed. I've heard promises before. But actions? Actions matter more than words. Marcus's voice echoed in my head. Your gut doesn't lie. I trusted you, I said, shaking my head. I trusted you with everything, and you threw it away. Why Lila? Why him? Her shoulders slumped, eyes downcast. I don't know. I just felt something missing. I didn't mean to hurt you, Nathan. I swear you didn't mean to. I asked, voice cracking. You broke me. Do you understand that? I understand, she whispered, and I hate myself for it. I never wanted this to happen. Please, please forgive me. I shook my head, taking a deep breath. I don't know if I can. Not yet. Not tonight. And tell me what to do. She pleaded. Tell me how to fix it. You can't fix what's broken, I said, voice low, almost a whisper. You can't erase what I saw, what I felt. All I can do is try to move on. And I don't know if I want you in that future yet. Her eyes filled with tears. I'll do anything, Nathan. Anything to make it right? Anything, I repeated. Even lose me? She flinched, but nodded. I can't bear that. I love you too much. I laughed bitterly, shaking my head. Love. If this is love, I don't want it. Not like this. Not after this betrayal. The apartment felt smaller, suffocating. I wanted to scream, to hit something, to make the pain leave my chest. But all I could do was stand there, frozen, watching the person I loved most in the world cry in front of me. I need space, I said finally, my voice trembling. I need time to think. I can't be around you like this. She nodded, her tears falling freely. I'll wait. I'll do whatever it takes. I won't give up on us. But I wasn't sure I wanted her to. I turned away, staring out the window at the city lights. Everything felt distorted, unreal. The trust we had built over years had shattered in a single night, and I didn't know if it could ever be repaired. I realized in that moment that love wasn't always enough. Sometimes it couldn't save you from betrayal, and sometimes walking away was the only way to survive. The rain outside tapped against the glass like a heartbeat I didn't recognize. My heart felt broken, but somewhere deep inside I knew this pain would change me forever. Forever asterisk, I couldn't sleep. The apartment was silent, but my mind raced. Every memory of Lila replayed, twisting into suspicion. Every laugh, every touch, every word now felt like a lie. Marcus called around noon. You up? He asked. Barely, I muttered. I can't think straight. You need to stop torturing yourself, he said, irritation in his voice. Talk to her, or stay away. Indecision is killing you. I can't, I said. I love her, Marcus. I really do, but I don't know how to trust her anymore. You trusted her once, he said, and she broke that trust. You have to protect yourself now. Your heart matters too. Later, I confronted Lila again. She was in the living room, sitting on the couch, eyes downcast. Nathan. She started softly. Don't Nathan me, I snapped, pacing. How am I supposed to feel safe with you? How am I supposed to believe your words after what I saw? I know I hurt you, she said, voice trembling. I'll spend forever proving it didn't mean anything. I swear. Words, I said bitterly. They're easy actions. They matter. I'm trying, she cried, tears sliding down her cheeks. I'll do anything you ask. Anything, I repeated, my voice rising. Do you know what it's like to feel betrayed? To wake up every day and wonder if everything you believed in was a lie? I can't imagine it fully, she admitted, but I know I've hurt you. I hate myself for it. You don't get it, I said, running a hand over my face. I've loved you with everything. I trusted you with my heart, and now I feel like I'm standing in ruins. Please, she whispered. Don't push me away. I can't lose you. I don't know if I can. Or should stay, I said, turning toward the window. I don't know if I want to forgive you right now. Maybe never. Her hands reached toward me, trembling. Nathan, please, look at me. Please believe me. I love you. I want to, I said softly, voice cracking. God, I want to believe you. But every time I try, doubt sneaks in. Every smile, every touch, every little lie I've caught. It's all too heavy. I'll wait, she said, swallowing hard. I'll wait as long as you need. I'll do whatever it takes to earn back your trust. I shook my head. Trust isn't something you can demand back. It's something I decide to give or not. Right now, I'm not sure I can. Silence fell. The kind of silence that fills a room with tension, heavy and suffocating. Lila's quiet sobs were the only sound. I hated it. I hated her tears. I hated the betrayal. I hated the helplessness twisting inside me. You don't understand, I said finally, my voice low. I can't just forget. I can't just pretend none of this happened. I know, she said softly. I know forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. But please, let me try. Let me show you I can be better. I can be the person you loved. I don't know, I admitted, turning away. I want to love you again. I do. But right now, I'm too broken. I need space. I need time. Her shoulders slumped. I'll give you space, she whispered. I'll wait. I'll wait. Be here when you're ready. I walked to the balcony, the city sprawling beneath me, lights flickering like tiny promises I didn't trust. My heart ached, torn between love and self-preservation. I wanted her, yes, but I also wanted safety, certainty, and peace. Could love survive this? Could trust ever return? I didn't know. All I knew was that everything had changed. The illusion of perfection was gone, shattered by betrayal and doubt. And as I stared at the city, I realized something painful. Love wasn't enough. Not alone. Not anymore. Not when trust was gone. I knew I couldn't stay trapped in the apartment, drowning in doubt and regret. Something had to change. Marcus, I said, pacing the living room, I can't keep waiting. I can't keep wondering if every smile, every word, every touch is a lie. You've made your choice then? Marcus asked, sipping his coffee, calm as ever. I have to take control of my life, I said, stopping to look at him. I can't let her betrayal define me. He nodded. Finally. About time, Nathan. What's the plan? I don't know yet, I admitted. I just know I need space, distance, time to figure out who I am without her shadow over me. You're doing the right thing, Marcus said firmly. Pain isn't weakness. It's fuel. Use it. Later, I went for a long walk, the city buzzing around me. Every street, every neon sign, every passerby seemed sharper, clearer. I felt like I could see life without the fog of betrayal for the first time. I ran into Emma, an old friend I hadn't seen in years. Nathan, is that really you? She asked, smiling. Emma, I said, surprised, but glad to see her. It's been a while. Too long, she said, giving me a quick hug. You look different. Stronger. Somehow. Thanks, I muttered. It's been rough, I can tell, she said softly. You've got that look, that wounded but determined look. I laughed. Bitterly at first, then a little genuinely. Yeah, something like that. We walked together, talking about old times, small jokes, laughter that felt genuine. For a moment, I forgot about Leela, about Daniel, about the pain, you know, Emma said, glancing at me. Sometimes we let people hurt us because we're afraid to face ourselves. Maybe that's what happened. I frowned. What do you mean? You trusted her, she said. Of course. But maybe you didn't trust yourself enough. You didn't think you'd survive if she hurt you. But you are surviving. You're still standing, and you'll be stronger because of it. Her words hit me like a splash of cold water. I realized she was right. I had been defined by her betrayal, waiting for her actions to dictate my happiness. But I could reclaim it. Later that night, I called Marcus. I'm starting over, I said. Not with her? Not yet. Just, I need to be Nathan first. Good, Marcus said, grinning. Now that's the Nathan I know. You've got fire in you. Don't waste it on someone who doesn't deserve it. I won't, I promised. I'm done letting the past control me. I walked to the balcony, city lights stretching below. The wind hit my face, sharp and cleansing. I felt alive. For the first time in days, maybe weeks, I felt the stirrings of hope, not as a replacement for pain, but as a companion to it. I could forgive, yes, maybe one day. But forgetting? That wasn't the point. The point was surviving, thriving, learning from the wounds and moving forward. I could still love, but differently now. More cautiously, more wisely. I would never let someone else define my worth again. Time to rebuild, I whispered to myself. Time to take control. Time to be me. And for the first time in a long while, I wasn't afraid of what the future might hold. I wasn't waiting anymore. I was walking toward it. Asterisk. I didn't need to do anything. I just watched Lila's betrayal had consequences, and they were unfolding naturally. I ran into her at the cafe one afternoon. She was tense, brushing her hair back, eyes darting nervously. Daniel wasn't there. I noticed a colleague whispering nearby, glancing at her with curiosity. "What's going on?" I asked quietly, sitting across from her. I don't know," she said, voice shaky. "Things at work. They're complicated. Everyone knows what happened. You're paying the price for what you did," I said calmly. "I can't explain it," she said, tears threatening to fall. "I never meant to hurt you. I swear, Nathan, you didn't have to mean it," I said softly. "The truth doesn't care about intention." She flinched. I know. I wish I could fix it. I've tried. I really have." I leaned back, studying her. And Daniel. She looked down, fidgeting with her cup. "He got into trouble. Big trouble. I feel responsible." I didn't respond. The calm satisfaction I felt wasn't malicious. It was relief. Karma was balancing itself naturally. I didn't need to intervene. The universe had a way of setting things right. Marcus called later that evening. "Saw her today?" He asked. "Yes," I said. She looked miserable. "But she deserves it." "And Daniel?" "Facing consequences," Marcus said. "Life has a funny way of dealing with fools." I smiled faintly. I've been replaying everything, all the lies, all the secrecy, and yet I feel lighter. Watching her stumble, seeing him falter. It's strange, Marcus, but I'm not bitter. Just free. "That's the difference," he said. "You're learning. You don't need revenge. You just need peace." I went home thinking about Emma's words. Surviving doesn't mean you forget. Thriving doesn't mean you hold grudges. Later that night, Lila called. "Nathan, please," she said, voice trembling. "I don't know who else to turn to. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." "I hear you," I said. "But I can't. Not yet. I've learned something important. Forgiveness isn't the same as forgetting, and I'm not ready to forget." "You're cold," she whispered. "I'm not cold," I said softly. "I'm aware. I've realized that love and trust are separate. Love alone isn't enough. Actions matter, and yours spoke louder than words." "I'll wait," she said, almost desperate. "I'll wait as long as you need." "Can wait," I said. "But I'm not waiting for her. I'm waiting for me. Waiting to decide if this is worth rebuilding, or if it's time to walk away completely." Silence fell. Her sigh echoed faintly. The next day, I ran into Daniel at a mutual friend's event. He looked stressed, overworked, guilty. He avoided my eyes. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. Karma had a way of doing its work without my interference. I realized that control wasn't about forcing consequences. It was about reclaiming myself, my choices, my emotions. Watching them falter gave me clarity, not satisfaction. I was learning to separate my pain from theirs, to understand that my future didn't depend on their downfall. Later, I met Emma for coffee. "You seem different," she said, smiling. "I am," I admitted. "It's like I've been carrying this weight, and now, even though it's still heavy, I can carry it without being crushed. That's growth, she said. That's strength. Strength, I repeated softly. I thought I needed revenge to feel better, but I don't. Seeing things fall into place, naturally, that's enough. I walked home that evening, the city lights reflecting in puddles from the rain. Life was messy. People hurt each other. Mistakes were made. But I realized that survival didn't come from hurting others. It came from understanding, from letting life take its course, from holding on to yourself. And for the first time, I felt truly unbroken. I didn't want to see her, but I knew it was inevitable. Some things needed closure, and I needed to face Leela one last time. She was waiting at the park. Hands clasped nervously, eyes downcast. I approached slowly, heart pounding. "Nathan," she whispered, looking up. I didn't expect you to come." "I had to," I said, voice steady but low. "We need to talk." She nodded, sitting on the bench. I don't know what to say. I've hurt you more than I ever imagined." "I know," I said softly. "I've thought about it every day. Every memory of us. It's twisted now. I trusted you completely, Lila, and you broke that trust." "I know," she said, tears glimmering in her eyes. "I was selfish. I didn't think. I wanted you. I wanted love, but I ruined it." "You did," I admitted. "And I've realized something. Forgiveness. It isn't about forgetting. I can forgive you for what happened, but I can't pretend it didn't leave scars." Her voice trembled. "I understand. I don't expect you to forget. I wanted you to know I regret everything. Every lie, every secret, every hurtful choice." "I hear you," I said, taking a deep breath. "I've watched the consequences unfold. Daniel faltering, your life shaken. Karma. It did its work." She flinched slightly. "I know, and it taught me more than I ever thought possible. About love, about trust, about responsibility, about losing the person you care for most." "I've learned too," I said. "I've learned that I can survive heartbreak, that I can reclaim my life without revenge, that my value doesn't depend on anyone else's choices." She nodded slowly. "You've changed. You're stronger, wiser. I see it. And I'm proud of you, Nathan, even if it's not with me." "I appreciate that," I said. "But it's not easy. Part of me still remembers our smiles, our moments, our laughter. But I can't let nostalgia blind me. I need to move forward, even if it means walking away from what we had." "You deserve that," she whispered. "And I want you to be happy, Nathan, even if it's not with me. I'll never forget you, but I accept your choice." I felt a pang in my chest, but nodded. "Thank you, Lila. I forgive you. And I hope you find the clarity you need, too." She smiled faintly through her tears. "I hope you do, too. And maybe someday, we can look back without pain, just understanding." I stood up, brushing dust from my jeans. That day will come, for both of us. But for now, it's time to move forward. "Alone, if necessary." "Alone," she echoed softly. "I understand." I turned, walking along the path, the park quiet except for the wind rustling leaves. I felt the weight of the past slowly lifting, replaced by a sense of resolve. I could forgive, I could move on, but I would never forget, not fully. As I walked, memories surfaced, good and bad, and I realized something important. Healing doesn't erase the past. It changes how you carry it. I could take the lessons, the pain, the strength, and let it shape me into someone better. I glanced back once. Lila was watching, silent but accepting. And for the first time in months, I felt a sense of calm, an understanding that closure didn't need perfection, just honesty. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows on the path. I kept walking, feeling the crisp air fill my lungs. My heart still ached, but it was no longer broken. I was learning to live again. And this time, I would do it on my own terms. Asterisk, I didn't know what the future held. But I knew one thing. I was no longer defined by betrayal. "Morning," Marcus said. leaning against the doorframe with a smirk. "You're up early. Plotting world domination already?" "Something like that," I replied, pouring coffee. "Just figuring out who I am without her." Marcus nodded. "Good. That's exactly what you should be doing. Forget waiting for apologies, waiting for her, waiting for closure. Start with you." "I've been thinking," I said, taking a sip. "All this time, I've let my pain control me. And for what? I've survived, Marcus. I can thrive now too." "That's the Nathan I know," he said. "You're finally realizing your worth." Later, I met Emma for lunch. "You look different," she said with a teasing smile. "Not just older, but stronger, maybe," I admitted. "Or maybe I'm finally honest with myself." "You've come a long way," she said softly. "From heartbreak to this. I see a man who's learning to love life again, carefully but fully." I smiled faintly. "Careful, yes. But fully, maybe? I want to build something lasting, something true. Starting with myself, that's the key," she said. "You can't trust someone else until you trust yourself." I nodded, letting her words sink in. "I'm done letting others dictate my happiness. No more betrayal, no more doubt controlling me. I need to define my own path." Later that evening, I walked through the city streets, neon lights reflecting off wet asphalt. The rain from earlier had cleared, leaving a crisp smell in the air. I felt alive. Every step was deliberate, every breath intentional. I called Marcus. "I'm taking control," I said. "I'm working on my career, my life, my relationships. Everything." "That's the Nathan I want to see," he said, grinning. "You're finally walking forward instead of looking back." "I'm learning to enjoy my own company," I said. "To value myself. To remember that survival isn't just about getting through pains, about thriving beyond it." "You're doing it," Marcus said. "You're reclaiming your life step by step." I hung up and felt a sense of freedom I hadn't felt in months. It wasn't about Lila. It wasn't about Daniel. It wasn't about revenge. It was about me. I ran into an acquaintance, someone I hadn't paid attention to before, a kind, intelligent stranger who greeted me warmly. We talked briefly, laughed, and I realized something. Connection didn't need to be complicated. Trust could be rebuilt slowly, starting small, starting genuine. Back at the apartment, I sat on the balcony, looking over the city. The night was quiet, serene. I thought about Lila, about the pain, about everything I had endured. I forgave, yes, but forgetting? That wasn't necessary. What mattered was the lessons I carried, the strength I had gained, and the life I was ready to reclaim. "I'm finally me," I whispered. "Not the man broken by betrayal. Not the man waiting for karma to balance itself. Me, fully, carefully, unapologetically me." Emma's words echoed in my mind. "You can't trust someone else until you trust yourself." I realize now that I didn't just trust myself, I believed in myself. I had the power to shape my own future, to protect my heart, and to embrace life without fear. I looked at the skyline and smiled faintly. For the first time, I felt unshakable. The past hadn't disappeared, but it no longer controlled me. I had reclaimed my mind, my heart, and my spirit, and tomorrow. I knew I'd walk forward with courage, hope, and clarity, because this was my life, my rules, my choices, and I was finally free. The morning felt different, crisp, clean, and full of possibilities. I walked through the park, breathing in the fresh air, feeling the weight of the past lift slightly with every step. "Hey, Nathan." Someone called. I turned to see Emma jogging toward me, smiling. "Morning," I said, returning the smile. "Feeling good today? You look it," she said, laughing. Like someone finally decided to take life by the reins. I admitted. I've spent months haunted by betrayal, by doubt. But now, I'm ready to start again. "Start again?" she asked, curious. "Yes," I said, pausing to watch the ducks in the pond. "Not just with people, but with myself. My work, my goals. Even my friendships. Everything. I'm taking control. Emma nodded. Sounds like growth. Feels like freedom, I said softly. Freedom from the past, freedom from fear. I've realized that life doesn't wait for anyone. You can dwell on pain, or you can rise above it. You're rising, she said, grinning. And it suits you. Later, I ran into Marcus at our favorite cafe. Look at you, he said, shaking his head in disbelief. You're like a new man. I feel like one, I said. I've decided I won't let betrayal define me. I'll remember, yes. Learn, yes. But I won't let it control my future. That's smart, Marcus said. Most people never figure that out. You're ahead of the game. We talked for hours, planning trips, new projects, even small adventures. For the first time, I felt the thrill of possibilities instead of the sting of past mistakes. That evening, I decided to revisit the place where everything had begun, our favorite cafe where Lila and I spent countless evenings. Sitting at the same table, I didn't feel pain. I felt closure. Strange, I whispered to myself. I used to sit here imagining forever. Now I sit here imagining possibilities. For me, a woman approached my table, smiling politely. Excuse me, is this seat taken? Not at all, I said, gesturing to the chair. We started talking. Her name was Sophie. Easy laugh, sharp wit, and she seemed genuinely interested in conversation. For the first time in months, I felt something stir in my chest. Not love. Not yet. But curiosity. Hope. I've been trying to figure things out, I said, and I realized something important. Life's too short to dwell on what broke you. You have to rebuild yourself, piece by piece. Sophie nodded, eyes bright. Absolutely. And sometimes the pieces form something better than before. I smiled. Exactly. That's my goal. To become better, stronger, and happier. Later, I called Marcus. I met someone today, I said, a little hesitant. Really? He asked, intrigued. Yes, I admitted. It's early, but it feels different. I'm not rushing, not expecting perfection, just enjoying the moment. And for the first time, it's easy. That's progress, Marcus said, and you've earned it. You've survived betrayal, heartbreak, and doubt. Now you get to embrace life on your terms. I hung up, sitting back in my chair, feeling the city hum around me. I was alive, free, ready. I realized that new beginnings aren't about erasing the past, they're about embracing growth. Learning from pain and trusting yourself to move forward. And as I looked at Sophie across the table, laughing at something I said, I felt the first spark of hope in a long time. A hope that didn't rely on anyone's promises or betrayals. Just life. I took a deep breath, savoring it. The past was behind me. The future was waiting, and I was ready to step into it. Fully, courageously, and unafraid. Asterisk, it had been months since everything fell apart. I hadn't seen Leela since our conversation in the park, and for the first time, I didn't feel the urge to chase closure. I had found it within myself. Marcus called as I sipped coffee at my balcony. How's life? He asked. Good, I said, watching the sunrise paint the city gold. I feel at peace. Finally, that's what I like to hear, he said. You survived, you learned, and you're thriving. I realized something important, I said softly. Closure isn't about confrontation. It's about accepting the past, forgiving where needed, and moving forward. Not because anyone else changed, but because I did. That's deep, Nathan, Marcus said, chuckling. It sounds like someone finally grew up. I smiled faintly. Maybe. Or maybe I finally stopped letting betrayal dictate my life. I've rebuilt myself, my heart, my mind, my life, and I can love again, cautiously, wisely, but fully. Later that day, I ran into Emma at a bookstore. Nathan, she called, waving. Emma, I said, smiling genuinely. It's been a while. It's looking good, she said. You seem lighter, happier. I am, I admitted. It's a new chapter. I've faced the past, accepted the pain, and found strength in it. and I'm finally ready to embrace the future. You've come a long way, she said. From heartbreak to this. I'm proud of you. Thanks, I said softly. I had to let go of bitterness. I had to realize that my happiness doesn't depend on revenge or the mistakes of others. It depends on me. We walked through the streets, talking about small dreams, simple pleasures, and moments that mattered. I realized that life wasn't about perfection. It was about growth, resilience, and learning to find joy in the smallest things. That evening, I returned to the apartment. I found a letter slipped under the door, Leela's handwriting. My heart tightened for a moment, but I didn't panic. I opened it carefully. Nathan, I've reflected on everything. I'm sorry for the hurt I caused. I hope you find happiness, even if it's not with me. I'll always remember what we had, but I understand if you've moved on. Forgive me and live fully. I folded the letter, smiling faintly. No anger, no bitterness, just acknowledgement. She had accepted her role in the past, and I had accepted mine in the present. That was closure. I called Marcus. I got her letter, I said. And I feel free, I said. Free to live without the weight of betrayal. Free to love, to trust, to grow. And free to decide what's next for me without looking back. That's the Nathan I wanted to see, he said. You're finally untethered. I walked to the balcony, city lights flickering beneath me. The wind brushed against my face, cool and refreshing. I realized I didn't need Leela's forgiveness, nor her presence. I had already forgiven her, myself included, and that was enough. Later, I met Sophie for dinner. We laughed, shared stories, and talked about our dreams. It wasn't love yet, but it was a beginning. A chance to build something new, carefully, wisely, without fear, as I walked home. I felt the full weight of the past lift from my shoulders. I had faced betrayal, heartbreak, doubt, and fear. And now I was whole again. Not untouched, but stronger, wiser, and ready for life. I whispered to myself. Closure isn't an ending someone gives you. It's the peace you create for yourself. I looked at the night sky, stars scattered like tiny promises. My heart was open, my mind clear, and my spirit unbroken. The past was behind me. The future awaited, and I was ready to embrace it fully, courageously, and without regret, because I had learned the hardest truth of all. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. And closure doesn't mean holding on, it means finally letting go. And I had let go.